Yeah, bro, you ready to just jump right in, or?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet, bro. Dude, thank you for coming out here. We're doing a very quick 15-minute episode this time. I'm just gonna ask a couple questions. You ready for the first one?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. And yeah, let's do it. So what is a certified public accountant? A CPA. What is one?
Dude, I think to be honest, it's just a glorified title for an accountant. No, I'm just kidding. It's somebody that is like competent, and once you get to that level, you take these exams, all these classes that qualify you. You're basically as competent as any other accountant out there, and even more. You can work in a lot of business lines, a lot of industries, and really help create value for a company, not just with money, but more specifically, there's like tax, audit, and then there's consulting. I've been fortunate enough to be like a part of two of those, tax and audit. In short, that's what a CPA really is, and that leads to, if you have that license and that title, you can go a long distance in your career and your life overall. Like all these opportunities, and the money comes along with it. Like you can go into like high levels much more likely than other people that don't have that title, and that's what I'm working on this year, which is just a piece of my ultimate goal in life, which I can further talk about later.
So a certified public accountant, are you working, is this like a self-employed type job, or is that more geared to working for a corporation or like within a business or something?
Both. So like right now, what I'm doing is I'm going in what you call public accounting. It's the usual route, and I'm doing it not just because of that, but because I can gain a lot of experience and connections through it, and I've already been able to gain a lot in my span of a few years. And on the flip side, you can do local non-corporation firms, which I've explored, I've looked into. I know people that even close friends who they themselves or their family members or their relatives own firms locally, and I was interested in them. So you can go big corporate and you can deal with all the corporate political stuff, or you can go low key local and have a closer relationship with like the community. And I think I should point that's one of the many things why I like the career path, is because you can make it really, really, really focus on corporate, like very big money, or you can even make it like more personally you. And so what I'm doing on a high level is go into it so I can gain exposure and all that, and then bring it back. And I ultimately want to make my own firm one day and help like small businesses with backgrounds like mine. You know me well, so I know that means a lot to me. That kind of drives me.
Yeah.
In the grind, like why am I doing this? That's my why. So. And
you're already kind of doing it currently because you're helping out a fellow friend's business. Like you're helping a business currently.
Oh yeah, Oscar,
yeah.
Mr. Oscar Pearson. Yeah, he reached out to me, and so he works for I don't know if the audience knows this, but our close friend has a nonprofit, The Place. Everybody go check it out. It's called The Place.
It's really cool.
I really like the idea, and I think it needs more exposure, and by exposure they can potentially get more funding, more specifically government funding. But he brought me to it, and I met Tracy, and they told me their operations and how they do things, and I basically accumulated all the information. I gave him like 3 points that we could all work on together. And with my current circumstances, I unfortunately couldn't do the top 2, which was very labor intensive. But I told them what they had to do with that, and I followed up with the third one, which is connecting them with some people so they can help do the first 2 tasks. I'm not gonna disclose what those were, but
Yeah.
I think if Oscar and Tracy do anything close to those two things, I think it would really help their operations so that they can like, upscale their place, which is really cool. I think everyone. I'm not even gonna talk about it because I think you need to check it out. Because when I was there trying to do like this consulting work, I fell in love with it. That's the thing. Like business or whatever you want to call it is kind of primary. Like where we come is to try and solve the issues, any issues that might come with it, so then I can help it become more efficient. It doesn't necessarily need to be money involved, like this is a non-profit, a lot of the things they do, they give back so they can keep the operations going.
Yeah.
So what I was the way that I was answering it kind of flows with the nature of their business.
Yeah.
And even what I was helping with was also kind of like, I could have gone the other way, which would have required more work and like more money, but like going this way makes more sense for them. And I'm glad that he reached out to me, and I was like super glad that I got to help out. And I hope I actually get to help them out like all the way through, and I want to see it happen. Yeah.
So with what you're studying right now currently, you're able to use your knowledge and you have enough knowledge and experience to be able to help out a small local business, a nonprofit, because of what you've learned.
Yeah.
Okay.
In short, yeah. I think I could do more. I could always do more, and that's one of the other things that's great about this career is that in reality, the world is like continuously changing. There's no like, it's not static. The things you're learning right now is going to be different tomorrow. There's rules and regulations. There's tax regulations that are like changing every day. Like, and I try to keep up with it, and I even listen to like podcasts sometimes when I'm driving like long distances. But like it's understanding that it's always going to be different, and you're always going to be learning, and then like learning continuously, I think is fun. Like it challenges your brain, and I think happiness comes out of it, honestly. Like if you choose your problems, I hope they're good problems, and you try and solve it and you solve it, doesn't it make you happy? Yeah. So I think it's awesome. That's another thing why I chose it, is because I'm continuously learning, and I could be 30, 40, 50 years old. I could be like already at my end goal, but I'll always need to be updated on what's new. Because if I don't, then my business or the business that I'm helping is gonna fail, or not gonna be as efficient as it should be or could be. Yeah.
Good answer to my first main themed question, and my second and my last main themed question. What do connections mean to you? Because you're always talking about connections and super important. Connections are amazing. But even tonight, just now, you already kind of brought up connections, and like I know that you appreciate connections so much because it helps you live your life and meet the people who you need to meet, and accommodate your resources accordingly. Like, what do connections mean to you, Frank?
I think connections is it's any people that kind of, I think overall anybody that you meet is important, right? I think every person has a value, and I always try to keep an open mind when I meet somebody, no matter how different they are from me, because I think I'm not trying to sound like selfish or like trying to find some value in you that's going to benefit me, but I think your like gifts and talents, through you, who I call a connection, if we work together, like synergy is like, could actually create something that's like gonna contribute to society, right? Like I'm sitting here in your podcast, I'm helping you reach your goal. I know this is your thing. This is your thing, and since I've known you, you've done these other jobs, but I've always seen that this is what you love to do, and so I've always tried to push you to do this. Haven't I? I've always tried to do work. I've always told you to work on this because I see that you have a drive in this. Because when you love what you do, then you're gonna be more willing to do what you need to do, even if you're not 100% day in day out. You're not motivated. You know deep down you need to do something. You're gonna do it anyways. So, like, you've been doing your podcasting all the time. But in short, like, yeah, like my connections is like people that I like met and I try to maintain. And I try to work with them so that like we can both benefit from it. You know, like I can help you, and you know you can help me somehow. Like that's how the world works, man. You know, it doesn't necessarily need to end up in like money. In a lot of ways, it is because,
that's real.
You know, that's the currency of life. Like, you know, that's the society that we live in. But like for me, I don't like when I was helping Oscar. I don't want like the financial like gain from that. Like for me, I can help out a friend, you know, and what he's doing is it's pretty awesome, man. You know, like it's pretty cool, and he's doing art, like he's doing this stuff with Tracy, who's a wonderful woman. Like she's really nice, dude. She doesn't have, like, from what I've heard in that like 2-hour like consultation, like she doesn't need to be there. Obviously, she has other stuff going on, but she's putting her time and effort into it. And you know, I was glad I was able to help her and Oscar. But yeah, that's a long-winded answer, but that's what connections mean to me, and that's why I think it's very important to maintain and nurture those connections in some form or another.
It's kind of cool, like playing off that. Like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of met Oscar through me or like this friend group, and then boom, like a couple months later, or multiple months later, you guys are helping each other out, and that was just from like you meeting him through us, kind of like you guys each established a connection. And that's one thing that I always love, is when my friends make friends with my friends.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things.
I love that so much.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of your I don't know, strengths, but one of the biggest things that you bring to the table, it, you know, not to bluntly put, is that you bring all these people together, and then what you're doing is building connections right there. Like, you're helping foster like an environment where we at least have the opportunity to meet each other and see if, like, okay, I mess with this guy's dope. Like, I mess with Oscar a lot. Like, every time I talk to him, I'm laughing for at least, if I'm talking to him for an hour, I'm laughing for at least 15 minutes of the hour.
Yeah.
Every time. Because, like, we have the same, like, personality in a way, and, like, sense of humor. And then, yeah, but I think, yeah, you should be like proud that that's something that you do and that you can do continuously. Is that you have a very, like, diverse and very inclusive friend group that's always being added onto, and it's very accepting. Dude, like, that open-mindedness has so much potential, and it's like limitless. Like, people don't understand like what you can actually do with that, like, type of attitude. Yeah.
For sure, dude. You guys heard it from Frank himself.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you killed it, bro.
Thanks,
you killed
man.
it. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.